It is officially Cancer season, you guys. I forgot to say it yesterday, but listen, Cancer is the best sign because it is what? My sign. As you all know, in less than 2 weeks, I will be celebrating my birthday. And it is Cancer season all day, every day over this piece. Okay? Okay. All right. How's everybody doing? How you guys doing? All right. Let me go in here. Hey, Yana. And Yana is a little bit green because she is what? A member. Hey, La Queen. What's up, Brandon? Tracy, another member. Hey, boo. Hey, little baby, my mod. Sims overdose. I know that's right. Trick Daddy woke up today and chose violence. We are going to get to that in a moment. Hey, what's up, Miss Bowen? Hey, Xavier. Shakira wants another what? Not only is Shakira a tribe member, but she is also Team Cancer. Yes, baby. What's up, ill love? Hey, boo. That's my boo. Hey, Lauren, Dominique, Tracy, Shawana, Jarrell. Hey, Jarrell. I haven't seen that name before. Welcome to the tribe. Watermelon Sugar, my other mod. Hey, boo. I don't know where Ebby is. I know Ebby had her live at 4. So she may be resting, honey. She may be resting. Let me text her real quick. Let her know we over here. You know, sometimes Ebby get busy. Hey, Zap. What's up, Zap Allen? How you doing? Today is your hubby's birthday, Team Cancer. I know that's right. Now, listen. Those male cancers hit different, all right? Woo, the male cancers hit different, but it's all love because it's all Team Cancer. But the male cancers, baby, they hit different, okay? Tell him I said happy birthday. I hope you guys are doing something nice or are planning something nice for his birthday. That's great. That's great. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and jump into it. So first of all, I have a couple of announcements I want to make, a couple of things that I forgot to say that I didn't say that we said that we didn't say. First of all, and I didn't do a quick drop on this. I'm just going to throw this out there and just let it fall where it's going to be. If you watch Happily Ever After, y'all made me watch that show this season, child. Oh, Abby says she coming, honey. She trying to finish up something. Eric and Virginia of Married at First Sight. I hope I didn't say 90 Day Fiance. Married at First Sight. Eric and Virginia. If you remember the couple, Eric is the one that was a pilot. He was in the military. She's the one that liked to hang out with her friends and get drunk and didn't understand why she had to stop doing that because she got married. Well, it is being reported allegedly that they filed for divorce, or that Virginia has actually filed for divorce. And that is coming from Instagram account of, was it Maths Love or Maths Insider, Married at First Sight. What's the Instagram? Y'all know I like giving credit where credit is due, but it's an Instagram account on and it's MAFS, and I want to say it's like Maths Love or Maths Insider or something like that. But I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm not shocked or surprised if this is in fact true, because I said the whole season that they didn't need to stay married, but you need to start watching the show. You hear it's really good. I heard that this season was the worst season. I have heard that the other seasons are better. I know that they are filming the new season. And what city are they filming the new season in, y'all? It's not, this season was in Atlanta. The new season is, I know they're already filming the new season. I don't know which one it is. Maths Fan. Thank you, my Mia. Thank you. It's Maths Fan. Thank you, babes. Thank you. Is there a difference between a June Cancer and a July Cancer? You know, honestly, I couldn't tell you because I really don't pay much attention to the June Cancers. I know that's rude for me to say that, but I'm a July Cancer, so I really just be paying attention to the July Cancers. I really be forgetting that we have June Cancers because I feel like Gemini has the majority of the month. So I really just forget about us at the end. Sorry. Mom, uncle, niece, and 8 cousins. Team! Okay, when you know about that Cancer energy, boo. Hey, C Golden, what's up, boo? Is that what it is? My brother and 2 exes are male Cancers. Listen, that's all I got to say about that. That's like the male Sagittariuses. Listen, My best friend is a Sagittarius, and I wouldn't trade her for nothing in the world. But baby, I will never date another Sagittarius a day in my life. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. My sister's best friend is a Sagittarius. My best friend is a Sagittarius, and I love them down. She's like another little sister to me, and y'all know how I feel about my best friend. I love them down. But let me tell you what I will never do again. Jesus himself would have to call me on the main line and say, that's your husband, for me to date another Sagittarius. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Hey, keep it cute. Your son will be 19 on the 28th. Well, happy birthday to your son. All right, all this birthday love and blessings. So that's that. The other thing I wanted to tell you guys, I meant to tell you guys this yesterday, and I'm going to go ahead and say it, because if I try to wait until we get to the Real Housewives of Atlanta portion of the show, I'll probably forget again. So I do want to go ahead and say this before I forget. I want to give a shout out to Kandi Burruss. Kandi Burruss announced last week that she is one of the producers of the play Thoughts of a Colored Man, and it is going to be on Broadway. As you guys know, Broadway has been closed for almost 2 years due to the pandemic. It just recently opened back up a few weeks ago, and so we are already, I know if you love live theater like I love live theater, it's been a long time since I've seen a play on Broadway, but not being able to see a play on Broadway has made me definitely put it on my to-do list to take a train up to New York and do a weekend in New York and go see a play. And this might be the play I decide to go see. It is called Thoughts of a Colored Man. It is the first ever play that is starring all Black men, written, directed, and produced by an all African-American team, and it will be on Broadway. So this is the first time. Hey, Az, what's up, boo? So this is the first time that we are seeing a play on Broadway that is all Black men and that the whole production team is Black. So shouts out to Kandi Burruss for that. Listen, I ain't mad about you. I ain't mad about you. Now, I don't know if the play is any good. Let's be clear. I don't know if the play any good. Okay. But it will be on Broadway. And like I said, it's starting in October. I have a lot of potential things coming up. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to slide that into my potential of things that I want to do in the next couple of months financially. But it is definitely on the possible to-do list. The first thing is going to be making sure that we get Abby's birthday straight. And then I see what I can do after that. Because y'all know, we couldn't do it last year for Abby's birthday. We were going to do it this year for Abby's birthday, honey. Okay. So that, I just wanted to make sure I made those announcements because I forgot. I will try to see if it gets good. Yeah, I definitely, like I said, I'm going to give her, I'm going to go watch Hamilton and hold on until you gonna see this Black man play. What? That's not the same as the live theater. I did want to see Hamilton live. I had tickets to see Hamilton live, and then the pandemic. It was the pandemic. It came to DC. It was the pandemic. My Janet concert got canceled. That damn it. Anyway, so I'm gonna go along with what y'all already said. I believe, who was it that said it? Somebody in the chat already just said it. He said it perfectly. Apparently, Trick Daddy woke up this morning and chose, it was either this morning or yesterday, and he chose violence. Listen, Trick Daddy said, I'm paraphrasing because I'm not about to pull up, because this has been going on all day, so I ain't about to sit here and pull up all of the quotes. But Trick Daddy said that Beyonce can't. Now, he's trying to clean it up a little bit, and it still ain't working. But he's trying to clean it up a little bit and say that he said that Beyonce can't sing. He didn't say she couldn't sing. He said she can't sing. We'll get to that, because that's a distinction without a difference. But moving on, at least in this situation, it is. I know what let me start at the beginning, and I'm gonna work my way back when you, Mr. Trick Daddy. Allegedly, Trick Daddy made some comments about Beyonce. That's all right, Zara. Come on in. You know you got a seat in the front row, girl. About Beyonce not being able to sing. He said Beyonce is to R&B what Jay-Z is to rap. He said Jay-Z can't rap, Beyonce can't sing. He said she doesn't do anything to give back to the music world. She don't write no music. Now he said that. Okay. Now what we did know was that the Beehive was coming. We knew listen, we knew that the Hive was coming. The first I heard about this was earlier today on El Teddy's live that he did. And he has the whole quote. Y'all go check out his live because he gives you the whole quote. Okay. Y'all, the Beehive about got this man's restaurant shut down. His restaurant went from a 4.6 rating on Yelp to a 2.6 rating in 2 hours. And let me tell you how gangster the Beehive is. They not even writing nothing in the comments. They just posting bees. They not even writing nothing. They just putting the bees in the chat. Like, just so you know, I'm stamping it. I don't need to say why I don't like your restaurant. I don't need to say what the restaurant did or didn't do. I don't need to say that it burnt my fries and that it was too much grease in my burger. I don't need to say none of that. All I need to do is put a B up under here just so you know that I know. And we were here. I said, damn. Just damn. Exactly. That is a whole nother level of petty. That is a whole nother level of that. Listen, that is a level of petty that I aspire to be. I'm loving it. Okay. Even though y'all know how I feel about Beyonce. I am no Beyonce fan. Okay. But I have always said the Hive has brought down empires and dynasties. We've destroyed. We'll destroy Trick Daddy too. Listen, he is entitled to his opinion, but to intentionally attempt to hurt his business for a woman that doesn't know your name or can't call on a time of need is absolutely ridiculous. Now, let me say this authentically young. Let me say this to you. On a serious note, because I'm really being silly right now, but on a serious note, I agree with you 100%. On a serious note, I agree with you 100%. Now, I'm being silly about the level of petty, but I agree with you 100%. But people do it all the time. But I agree that this is this man's livelihood, and it's just his opinion. Why he should have kept his mouth shut? That's his opinion. Listen, that's his opinion. Now, I will say this. I'm not a fan, but I respect her hustle. Why does it seem like people from my own community are going now out of their way to knock down powerful Black women this week? Ooh, I don't know. What other powerful? Oh, you talking about the Kamala Harris thing? So I'm going to say this. First of all, I think, and I've said this, we've had this conversation over here before, y'all. I guess we're going to have to keep having this conversation. There's a difference between being able to sing. Like, there are levels to singing. We just had this conversation the other day. There are levels to singing, okay? There are people who can carry a tune. There are people who can carry a song. There are people who can lead a choir. And there are people whose voices have been anointed by God, okay? It's just levels to this. It's levels to this. I would never say Beyonce can't sing. Y'all would never, as much as I'm not a fan, you will never hear me say Beyonce can't sing. Will I say that Beyonce is the best singer in the choir? I probably wouldn't. I mean, depending on who's in the choir. If we want to, because what happened was, I will give Trick Daddy credit. He stood 10 toes down in his shit. And he said, I said what I said. He said, Beyonce, she can, and then he amended his statement a little bit. He said, Beyonce can sing, but she can't sing. She ain't no Patti LaBelle. She ain't no Stephanie Mills. She ain't no Whitney Houston. Now, let's be clear. I love me some Stephanie Mills, but I ain't never put Stephanie Mills on the Mount Rushmore of singers, of black women singers. But okay, maybe he is. Okay. But what did Beyonce? Well, I think it was one of those things where they were having a conversation. Like, remember, Trick is on the radio every day. So they were having a conversation and he gave his opinion. You know. So now he's sort of cleaning it up a little bit. Now, he still say he don't feel like that girl could sing. Okay? That woman. I don't call her a girl. She a woman. She's somebody's mama. She a woman. But at the end of the day, the Beehive got a long memory. Now, I don't really know what they can do other than hurt his business, because it ain't like, I mean, Beyonce is the hardest working woman on stage. Yeah, she definitely, now she give you a show. Now, she definitely give you a show. Oh, okay, I thought this was a random IG. No, he was on the radio. He was doing his job, and somehow they got onto the conversation. And he said that he just didn't think Beyonce could sing. Now I will say he did go on to say that he didn't think that Jay-Z could rap. Now listen, I'm not the biggest Jay-Z fan, but I'm not gonna take nothing away from Jay-Z. I'm sorry. He was on Clubhouse. That's what it was. Right. Thank you, Xavier. He was on Clubhouse. Now listen, y'all, these celebrities gonna get enough of being on Clubhouse and putting their foot in their mouth. All kinds of people said some stuff over, because I don't know why y'all think Clubhouse. It started off a very exclusive, private audience, but it's just not that anymore. Hell, I got Clubhouse, and I promise you, I ain't been on Clubhouse. I probably have listened to maybe 3, what they call them, shows over there. I might have listened to 3 shows over on the Clubhouse, and Abby sent me a Clubhouse invitation. When was that, Ebony? Months ago. And I probably could count on one hand how many times I've been over there to the Clubhouse, okay? When you don't learn from others' mistakes, he don't remember what they did to Carrie Hill. He probably don't know who the hell Carrie Hilson is. I dare the people take stuff out of Clubhouse and put it out. Right. I dare Trek to have a battle with Jay. Right. They're called rooms. Thank you. So I could probably count. But remember, Tiffany Haddish got in trouble for some stuff she said over to the Clubhouse. Y'all gonna get enough of being over there on Clubhouse. I believe it was, what was it? Kiki Y got into it with what's his name? The guy out of Louisiana that has a different color hair. Oh my gosh, what's his name? I can see his face. What's his name, y'all? Y'all know who I'm talking about. Shaky, MC Shaky. Remember Kiki Y got into it with MC Shaky? Oh my gosh, Big O is horrible. Listen, at least I didn't delete Clubhouse off my phone. I went over there to Big O, and I was only over there I deleted that thing off my phone so damn bad. Child. Now you talking about ghetto. I walked up in the Big O and I felt like Nene Leakes, that clip of Nene Leakes talking about some, ooh, the ghetto. That's how I felt when I walked up in the Big O. Listen, no disrespect to people who like to hang out over there in the Big O. That's your business and I ain't judging you. But baby, it's not for me. It's a no for me. Yeah, it was. Yeah, when me and Abby went over there, it was a lot. It felt like an OnlyFans situation. Like all I found was women dancing and old men sending them coin. I didn't get it. I didn't understand it. It didn't look like nothing I wanted to be a part of. I very quickly put my car in reverse and backed up out of Big O. Now, it has definitely become a lot more popular since when me and Abby because we first went over there because I think somebody over here said it's a place where you can go make some money, you know. And when we went over there, I said, Abby, I don't know if this is the kind of money we supposed to be trying to make. And we got about it there quick. Listen, I got about it there quick, okay? Now, again, I know a lot of people go over there. Like, I know Ty's over there now. He has a whole, there's a whole community over there. El Teddy's Ty, the guy that used to, his friend that used to co-host with him. Ty's over there, and he's over there at night, and he does drag shows, and they've got a whole community over there, and he makes good money over there, you know. But now I'm like, honestly, I don't have the bandwidth to stretch myself. Listen, I'm barely keeping up with YouTube, okay? Y'all see, I've been struggling with this second channel. I apologize to everybody because I'm going to work on this second channel. I want to do it. I gotta get my bandwidth up. I apologize once again to all of y'all who bought the book. I'm still reading the book, okay? I ain't done with the book yet, okay? But I'm definitely going to get caught up on that, and we're going to start back up in August. I said July, but I'm not going to lie to myself or you because I'm going to be gone the whole first week of July. So we're going to get that back up and running. But y'all see, I'm just doing good to keep up with 2 channels. Well, really 3 if you count the teacher project. I do good to keep up with 3 channels over here. I ain't got time for Big O. I ain't got time for Clubhouse. I don't have time for, what's that other channel where you can get that other place you can get monetized and make money? Is it Twitch or something else somebody else was telling me? Ain't nobody got time for all that. Y'all was like the Golden Girls accidentally booking rooms. Okay, that's exactly what we were. And yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I said, Abby, look, I don't know if we're in the right place. So what is that? Now, I did like stereo. I'll be honest with you. I like stereo. And stereo was easy and fun because me and Abby could go over there and we could do a stereo, or me and El Teddy, or even you guys. I did like stereo. I'm not going to lie. But stereo got real petty. They got real petty. So I backed up out of stereo. I may go back to stereo at some point because I did like the format where you guys could, in real time, we could have a conversation in real time. I may go back to stereo. Yeah, I still have it. Like, I deleted it off my phone, but I didn't like close out my account or nothing like that. Me and Abby may go back over to stereo to talk to you guys and just have real-time conversations and stuff. You know what? We should, Abby. We may go over to stereo while we're in Puerto Rico. That would be fun to talk to you guys while we're in Puerto Rico. We may do that. But anyway, but yeah, let me say this, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. Let me say this. I 120% feel like we have freedom of speech in this country, but I have told y'all time and time again, freedom of speech does not equal freedom of consequence. It just doesn't. We may not always like what that consequence is. You know, sometimes the consequence is you go to jail. Sometimes the consequence is people go to Yelp and say your restaurant dirty. I don't know. I think a lot of these fans are ridiculous. I think the Beehive is ridiculous. I think the Bardys are ridiculous. I think what Nicki Minaj call her people. I think they're ridiculous. Okay, the Navy can be ridiculous. That's Rihanna's people. I think all of these little fan groups, the extreme of the fan groups, I think are ridiculous. Because like somebody said a few minutes ago, these people don't even know who y'all are. Beyonce will walk right past you on the street. She could care less that you left. Do y'all think Beyonce give a damn about what Trick Daddy has said about her? Beyonce could get on a phone right now if she so chose to, make one phone call, maybe 2, but probably 1, and she could own Trick Daddy's restaurant by the end of the week. Y'all think she give a damn that man thinks she can't sing? Same thing with Jay-Z. Now, Jay-Z might care a little bit more than Beyonce, but all Jay-Z gonna do is put him in drop him in a verse in his next song. He still don't care. Like, he ain't gonna make no public statement. Now, does Trick Daddy have a right to say what he feels? Yes, he can say how he feels. But everybody know Beyonce fans is crazy as hell. Everybody. Whether we like it or not, all of us know that the Beehive is crazy. Okay. Okay. They lucky my sister's humble. So again, I'm joking, but your point is valid, authentically young. I do think it is ridiculous that we get to this point where people feel like we don't like that you don't like our favorite. And so now we are going to destroy you, and we're going to try to destroy you. You know what, KFS? That's facts. Bully culture is real. That is a type of bullying. And we know that these internet gangsters, them probably the same people that'll be right up there next week eating in the name of his restaurant is Sundays. The same person that probably went up over to the Yelp and said it was nasty and it was this and it was that. They'll be the first ones over there for brunch. They'll be the first ones in line for the brunch next Sunday. Sounds like the avatars and YouTubers. Well. The Bayhive worse than the Jan 6 people. Don't mess with their queen. You know what? You're not lying. You're not lying. She probably cares as much about what he said like she did when Wendy Williams said Beyonce speaks like she's dumb. Her bank account don't look dumb. Child. Everyone is team so-and-so, but don't even know who they cap it for. You're right. And the reality, and the funny thing is, Beyonce's kind of petty as this. Because y'all know Beyonce petty too. Y'all know Beyonce can be petty. Beyonce the kind of petty, like, she didn't show up at his restaurant and, like, dare him to say something to her face other than, hey, girl, thanks for coming. I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Like, she that kind of petty. You know what I'm saying? And now Wendy has elephant legs. Y'all are terrible. Trick's opinion ain't taking one dime out of Beyonce's pocket, but the Hive is seriously, yeah. The Hive, yeah, they are. They are. And they always have been. Like, listen, I will say this. They loyal. They loyal. They not loyal. They loyal. They loyal. Well, since we're talking about food, I was going to talk about this. I wasn't going to talk about this next, but let's go ahead. Right. Like, are you getting paid to do this, child? It's the Jay-Z can't rap coming from Trick Daddy for me. Well, child. Money don't make people not care. We see time and time again that behind the scenes, people often care. That's true. And let's be clear, behind the scenes, it may bother her. It may very well bother her, but she does not allow it to, she doesn't allow it to affect her publicly. Privately, it may very well bother her. I mean, it's only, I ain't gonna say it's gonna bother her coming from Trick Daddy. But I'm saying criticism in general, But she just doesn't allow herself to respond to all of it, which she shouldn't. And more celebrities should ignore the trolls, which I know is hard to do. But, they have these wonderful things, features on these, on these different social media. They got stuff you can turn comments off. You can mute people. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of stuff you can do if you don't want to see what's being said. Right, Leslie. And take a picture with him down to the restaurant. She sure would. Let's be clear. If you get criticism on your YouTube page, it will impact you depending on the delivery, especially if you are serious about your craft. Absolutely. And and don't get me wrong, y'all. I have gotten comments that have made me be like, damn. Ain't none of them made me lose no sleep. But I've definitely had some comments that made me feel some kind of way. I'm not going to lie. Listen, I got this one troll. Listen, last week, matter of fact, I got this one troll. And she be in the chat sometime. I ain't gonna say nobody's name. They live to tell me I'm wrong. They live to tell me I am wrong. And I'm not even talking about the names because we know I'll be fucking up names, child. But they live to tell me how wrong my opinion is. And what cracks me up is you clearly watch all of my reviews. So thank you. Y'all, my hair is so raggedy. Ooh, I'll be so happy. I'm washing it tomorrow. Ooh, I'll be so happy. I'm getting it done Thursday. Jeez, my hair's so raggedy. But anyway, I know they have to watch all my reviews because that's the only way you can tell me when I'm wrong or when you think I'm wrong is if you've seen all of my reviews, because you don't comment on all of them. You don't comment on all my reviews, but when you comment, oh boy, you really think you be getting me together. Okay? And don't get me wrong, 99.9% of the time, I don't give a fuck. Not that I don't appreciate y'all's opinions, and not that you always have to agree with me, because you don't. And a lot of times y'all don't. But every once in a while, I'll be like, damn. And last week I took a screenshot of the comment and I put it in the group chat that the Justice League have. And I said, this person right here always got something to say. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's just a personality trait. They could love your content. My mama like that. Well, right. When that man called Abby out her name, and y'all know I've been called names, and y'all know the first thing they call me is fat. I'll be like, y'all need to come up with something else, because damn. That's all you got, is that I'm fat. And please don't go to the glasses read, child. I've been wearing glasses since I was 5 years old. There's not a glasses joke I haven't heard. Okay? It probably ain't a fat joke I ain't heard. Okay? It's not Beyonce that Trick has to worry about. It's Mama Tina and Solange. You ain't lying, TT. You ain't lying, because listen, do y'all follow Tina Knowles down to the Instagram? She don't play. Tina don't be playing about her. She don't be playing about her, okay? Don't Solange or Beyonce, okay? She don't play about her. And we know Solange cut a bitch, okay? We know. So, okay, I said we was talking about food, and the only reason why I said we was talking about food because we was talking about Trick Daddy Restaurant, but we're just going to go ahead and parlay that into the next thing. Now, this one right here is going to probably make y'all mad, and that's fine. Y'all may not like me after I say this. Y'all might be mad. Y'all might want to put me on a list somewhere, and that's fine. But this falls under the category of sometimes you just can't make people happy. And I'm going to add, sometimes you just can't make black people happy. I'm going to add I'm gonna add the black to it, okay? Sometimes you just can't make black people happy. Let me tell you why I say that. Some Atlanta IKEA workers called off from work after the store manager created a Juneteenth menu with fried chicken and watermelon. This is the memo that went out to all of the employees. To honor the perseverance of Black Americans and acknowledge the progress yet to be made, we observed Juneteenth on Saturday, June 19, 2021. We will also be showcasing a compilation of videos in honor of Juneteenth. Look out for a special menu on Saturday, which will include fried chicken, watermelon, mac and cheese, potato salad, collard greens, and candied yams. Why the fuck we mad about that? What the fuck y'all think they was eating on the real Juneteenth back in 1865 down in Texas? What y'all think they was eating? Y'all, that's the same shit that y'all want at every goddamn cookout that everybody has down to Big Mama house. You'll be mad as hell if don't nobody show up with no fried chicken, no collard greens, no tater salad. You'll be mad. And then they say that you're supposed to eat something red on Juneteenth to symbolize the blood that was shed. You're supposed to eat red, something red, whether it's watermelon, whether it's red peppers, something. Now, I'm not being funny. I read that somewhere. You're supposed to eat something red on Juneteenth. That is a tradition. It's not pandering, Xavier. It's not pandering if it's a part of who we are and it is a part of our identity as Black people. It's a federal holiday. You work at IKEA, so you ain't getting it off. You work retail. You're not getting a federal holiday off. So they said, listen, let's acknowledge the holiday. We're going to show some Black movies in the break room, and we're going to cater in lunch, and we're going to bring in soul food. Y'all have been mad if they had bought in some goddamn turkey wraps from down to the Publix and some high C. Then you'd have been mad. But because they tried to feed y'all some real food to commemorate Juneteenth, y'all ain't gonna go to work now. Now y'all calling off work. Y'all, like I said, y'all ain't gonna have, everybody don't have to agree with this. And y'all might not like me, and that's fine. You may not agree with what I have to say. That's fine. You can put it in the chat. I won't be mad. But y'all, we gotta figure out what we mad about sometime. We mad because they feeding us food that we want to eat. I don't think it's pandering. I really don't. Everybody that went to a Juneteenth celebration on Saturday, I promise you they had that same damn menu. Yes, El Teddy falls out the sky when I say Publix. I promise y'all they did. Every Juneteenth cookout had that same fucking menu. So it's okay if we get it down to the fairgrounds that's having a Juneteenth celebration, but it's not okay if we get it from our supervisor at work. Xavier said, now I'm going to eat the food while I walk out, but I don't like the commodifying of certain things. It's the same thing they do to Pride. One side of me is saying, who asked for this? Another side of me is saying they might have got someone from the community to plan it, so it might be okay. That's our business, not theirs. Child, I would have been the only one to show up at work ready to eat. Child. Well, Abby, that's your opinion. I love watermelon. That's the Juneteenth and summer. I mean, I'm not being funny, y'all, but I just can't sometimes. I just can't. I just feel like sometimes it doesn't matter. We just gonna be mad. We just gonna be fucking mad. I don't know if the boss was white or not. So that make a difference too? Okay. Cake would have been better than watermelon. We didn't eat any and hardly do, but I'm from Southern Kentucky and we just dip it in certain things and mix company. I would snap if they had want to see the chitlins. Now we'd have been going too far with the chitlins. Don't bring me no goddamn chitlins. Thank you. I love you, boo. I can't help but laugh. I love watermelon. Watermelon is actually a traditional food eaten on Juneteenth. It really is, y'all. I'm not being funny. It really is. What if they gave us Skittles for Pride Month? Well, remember for Pride Month, they took the colors off the Skittles. They had special Pride Skittles, and they took all the colors off. Now, I will say this. This is not funny. But, like, okay, so, like, I could see, like, for example, if I worked at IKEA and in commemoration of Pride Month, they bought, like, they had, like, a rainbow cake in the break room, I wouldn't be mad about that, but I'd be mad if they had, like I was more mad about the fact that they were showing videos, because I want to know what videos they were showing. Like, if you were showing a fucking marathon of Roots, I was more mad about the fact that they were showing videos down to the break room than I was about the food. Because I'm like, what the hell are y'all showing? What the hell are y'all showing to commemorate Juneteenth? That's what I want to know. I think I'd have been more offended about that than the damn menu. Now, let me say this, like, for example, I wouldn't be, and I know that I'm not in the LGBTQ community, so I can't say what I could have, what I should have, shouldn't be, what I should not be offended by. So let me say that. But I would not be offended by a pride cake in the break room. I would be offended if y'all was showing a RuPaul's Drag Race marathon to commemorate pride in the break room. That I'd be like, for real? This what we doing? This is what we doing? And y'all know I love me some RuPaul, okay? I know El Teddy, but I get it, El Teddy, but what I'm saying is watermelon is connected to Juneteenth. I understand there's a racist undertone there. I get it. But what I'm saying is there is a connection of watermelon to Juneteenth celebrations. It just is. It is. Now I know that the history behind it, I get it, but it is a connection. That's all I'm saying. It's traditional foods for Juneteenth, but most are because that's all we had, so they made it a feast. I get it. I understand that a lot of our soul food comes from necessity, not necessarily want. I get it. I get all of that, y'all. I understand it. We eat all the parts of the pig that was left over. I get all of that. But what I'm saying is the context of it being connected to Juneteenth. That's all. That's all I'm saying. That's it. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Why would RuPaul be offensive? Because, again, I feel like you're reducing pride to the lowest common denominator. There's nothing wrong with RuPaul. I love RuPaul. I love Drag Race. But what I'm saying is if that's your way of celebrating pride, when pride is so much more than RuPaul's Drag Race, that's what I'm saying. So I would be more offended if I went to the break room and I saw Kunta Kinte, because there's so much more to our history than roots than the damn fried chicken. And again, I can't speak for any LGBTQ people, but I know for me, I would be like, that's it. That's all we know about. That's all we just gonna connect pride to that. RuPaul. Think hard to serve real velvet or something. You're making the same argument with the RuPaul example. I said that. I literally just said that. Just said that. Now we'll be okay if they plan to do this every day. So what's the difference between doing it every day and doing it on? Okay, now I'm confused. I understand your point, but it's a no for me. That's fine. That's fine. But that's my point, El Teddy. I'm agreeing about like I said, I would be more offended about what they're showing in the break room than what they're feeding me. But again, that's me, y'all. That's me. I didn't see the big deal, and I damn sure didn't see a big enough deal for y'all not to go to work. That's just me. That's just me. They should have stuck to the red color food. Free Swedish fish. Child. I'm not. I'm not making the same argument as the workers. No, I'm not. Nope, I'm not. No, I'm not. Mm-mm. I bet somebody took they took some food home. They probably bought the Tupperware dishes down from the dollar store at on a break, child. Maybe a watermelon punch. With there being such a negative stigma with Black people and watermelon, I think it was a bad judgment. Anyway. But again, that's me. Y'all ain't gotta agree with me. Hey, number one Eagle fan. Y'all ain't gotta agree with me, and that's fine. I love y'all anyway, but that's me. The NCAA versus everybody. Well, I say versus SCOTUS. So let's talk about this NCAA situation. In case you do not know or did not know, because if you did it every day, then it's more of you normalizing Blackness and our food instead of just doing this to show you're woke. I'm more concerned how you treat Black workers. But doing it every day wouldn't be realistic. Like, nobody eats like that every day. I mean, I don't eat like that every day, so. Okay, I live in New York, and Sylvia's Soul Food is very popular. Would have been a better choice. I don't have American heritage, so I'm not sure. I didn't think it was offensive. El Teddy, I'm not wrong. So it is what it is. I'm not wrong. It's my opinion. Thank you, Leslie. Sylvia's is soul food. So again, according to this argument, yes, it would have been offensive. According to this argument, it would have been offensive. You know, I didn't think it was offensive. That's just me. But anyway, so the U.S. Supreme Court unanimously rules that the NCAA went too far in blocking some education-related aid for student athletes, a decision that comes as college athletes struggle with the issues of how to preserve its amateur status. College athletics, Thank you, Xavier. Thank you so much. I would have felt very uncomfortable with that meal. I wouldn't have. I'd have ate it all, and I'd have took a damn plate home. You don't want yours? I'll take yours too. Anyway, the U.S. Supreme Court says the NCAA violated antitrust laws when it limited the amount students could receive for musical instruments, scientific equipment, postgraduate scholarships, tutoring, academic awards, and paid internships. So listen, you guys. A lot of times people make the argument about student athletes and how they shouldn't be complaining and no, we shouldn't pay them and no, they don't deserve this and they don't deserve that because they're getting a free education. They're there on scholarship. They should be happy with that. But when you listen to the fact that the rules of the NCAA were so stringent that it limited musical instruments, scientific equipment, postgraduate scholarships, meaning when you're no longer even eligible to play a sport, it still is controlling your postgraduate work, tutoring, and paid internships. Now, let me read a little bit more. For quite some time, there's been a debate on the different compensation student athletes can receive while playing under the NCAA. However, on Monday, the Supreme Court ruled that the NCAA cannot place a limit on the educational benefits student athletes could receive. According to NBC News, the Supreme Court ruled that the NCAA was violating antitrust laws when it came to the amount student athletes could receive when it came to certain benefits. I just read that. Justice Brett Kavanaugh, y'all remember Brett Kavanaugh, said the NCAA and its member colleges are suppressing the pay of student athletes who collectively generate billions of dollars in revenue for colleges every year. Those enormous sums of money flow to seemingly everyone except for student athletes. He continued to speak on the NCAA's argument that the popularity of college sports is a result of fans knowing that the athletes aren't paid. Justice Kavanaugh continued, the NCAA's business model would be flatly illegal in almost any other industry. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm reading what O Street said. They need at least $20,000 a year plus scholarship, but if hurt, do they keep their scholarships? Not in all cases, no. Actually, in most cases, no. If they can't play anymore, then no, it's an athletic scholarship. If you're not playing athletic, if you're not participating in athletics, that's what your scholarship is. That's like if you're there on an academic scholarship and your grades drop, you lose your scholarship. Now, depending on certain situations, they might try to find the money for you. They may try to move you around and do things, but generally speaking, no. Okay. Yeah, so here's the thing. Like I said, a lot of people like to argue about whether oh, well, student athletes shouldn't get paid because they have this and they have that and they get this and they get that. And I was listening to CNN today when I was in the when I was getting my car service, and I was listening to CNN today, and they had former athletes on there who were talking about how even in school, there was a restriction on which classes they could take, because if they were trying to take a class that would interfere with training or practice or games, they couldn't take that class. And so again, they make it seem like, oh, you could take, you're there on this free education and you can get a free degree. But if you want to major in X, Y, and Z and your coach doesn't sign off on it because the workload is going to interfere with, with what they anticipate you need to do, then you don't get the win. I mean, you don't get to take that class. And it really is up to your athletic director to sign off, depending on that. So about time the NCAA gets checked. This needs to go further, though. I agree. I feel if you're hurt as an athlete, you should keep your scholarship. I also think they should get a monthly stipend. First of all, my belief is that a free or affordable education should be a right, not a privilege. Something Deion Sanders brought to the people's attention with HBCU athletes were held to a different standard until they aren't athletes, as D1s aren't allowed to work. At the D1, predominantly white aren't allowed to work. Wait a minute, say that again. Are held to a different standard until they aren't athletes at the D1. I'm not understanding what you're saying, little baby. They should get paid, though. Do you see how much the coach? Yeah, the coaches are pleased, especially like the coaches, the Alabamas of the world, the UNCs of the world. Child. Meanwhile, HBCU athletes have to work and miss opportunities for further their athletic career. I'm not sure what you're saying, little baby. The NCAA colleges make all types of crazy money. If the athletes back selling seats and apparel, they can at least give them something besides an education. Part of my biggest problem is a lot of the coaches are millionaires. Especially the D1, like the big schools. I mean, not every single college coach, but a lot of the head coaches for those big programs are definitely making over $1 million a year. I think Nick Saban makes like $10,000. I mean, $10 million a year or something like that. Something crazy. And that doesn't even include endorsements and all that other stuff. When you think about a student athlete, you think about, for example, give me somebody, El Teddy, shoot. When you think about the video games and these kids' likenesses, when you think about the jerseys, when you think about the endorsements that the school gets and they're in the commercials, they don't get paid for any of that. The fact that everybody around an athlete can make money off of that athlete except for him or her, that's a problem. That's a problem. The school can make money off of you. The coach can make money off you. Hell, your high school can make money off of you, but you can't make money off of you. There's a Black YouTube channel where she has an audience and she brings forward the group of individuals up during her show to talk. Does anyone know what app or software does that? StreamYard. StreamYard does that. Right, everybody but the athlete. The NCAA does all of this and wonder why some athletes take side money from sports agents or something. A lot of them do, and I don't see a problem with it. I understand why they try to limit it. Like, I get all of the arguments for it, but they've got to find a way to pay these people for what, because the reality is there's so many college athletes who never get to the next level. But that doesn't mean that their talent didn't contribute to the success of that program at that school. And there's got to be a way, or there should be a way, because there is a way, that these athletes, like you said, a monthly stipend, something to compensate them for everything. Yes, especially at these big programs. Yes, they have state-of-the-art equipment, and they have this and they have that. And yes, they have TV and all of that. But the reality is the majority of those kids are not going to the next level. But they played for 4 years or 3 years, and they gave you everything they had to make your program successful. And the NBA, a player makes money off of jerseys sold with their name, right? But not in the NCAA. Even the video games that have their likeness on the video games. A couple of players sued. A few years ago, and I think they actually won their lawsuit, but it didn't become like a law of the land type situation. And I think they won their lawsuit. Don't quote me on that. El Teddy probably could tell me if I'm right or wrong. I think they won their lawsuit. I know a few years ago up in Chicago. Oh shoot, I'm losing it. Michael Wilbon's alma mater. They tried to unionize. And it wasn't successful. But even something like that would have been, you talk about game changing if they had unionized. We're talking about the NCAA and the athletes. NCAA will restrict, hold on. NCAA will even restrict a player's social media presence. One athlete talked about how they wanted him to throw away his YouTube career. Wow. As long as the athletes aren't taking money and throwing games, I don't see the problem with it. Well, that's part of the argument, though. That is part of the argument. That's part of the argument. And we know that players have done it. If the athletes walked on game day, would that hurt the machine proving they're worthy? I mean, I'm not going to say no, but I'm going to say it would have to be a very organized effort, and it would have to be all or none. Like, that's a situation where you would have to be willing to do it more than once. Like, doing it once and not doing it again, that's like saying, oh, we're not going to buy gas for one day, but you're going to fill up your tank the day afterwards. There's no effect there. Can it hurt the machine? Yeah, sure. But remember, again, you have to be willing to sacrifice. And again, for a lot of these athletes, they are there on scholarship. That is their college scholarship. And that's all the college has to do is threaten to take away their scholarship. Northwestern, thank you. That's the school I was thinking. It was Northwestern. They tried to unionize a few years ago. It wasn't successful, but it got really far. They were nervous. It actually came down to a vote. Sports is a big money maker for these schools. The players should be allowed to benefit from their efforts. I remember Meta World Peace. He talked about how he was this star athlete in college, and I think he played for. Did he play for St. John's? El Teddy, who did Meta World Peace pay for in college? Ron Artest, aka Ron Artest. I want to say he played for St. John's, and that's right there in New York City. And he said that there were days when he literally did not have enough money to catch the bus home because he's from New York. He literally did not have enough money to catch the bus home from campus to go home to New York, like from one part of New York City to another part of New York City. He literally did not have enough bus money and really had to be careful who he accepted bus money from. Because legit, it could have gotten him in trouble if he accepted bus money from the wrong person. Bus money. Money to go get a hamburger. Thank you. It was St. John's. Thank you. I say Jeff Bezos should cut all student athletes a monthly stipend check. Child. Okay. I think former student athletes who have made back and support them to be able to make big statements. Hey, Logan, what's up, boo? Zara, I'm not sure what you're saying. I think former student athletes who have made it, maybe I think you're saying made it, should give back and support them and be able to make big statements. I'm not sure what you mean by big statements. Logan, where you been? But again, Zara, under the rules, even if they can't. So, for example, let's say Shaquille O'Neal, who went to LSU. Shaquille O'Neal legally cannot write checks to athletes at LSU. He can't do it. Under the current rules, he can't. He can give money to the school. He can give money to the boosters. He can give money to the athletic program, but he cannot say, I want to send a stipend to all of the basketball players for the season. I'm going to pay them $1,000 a month. He can't. That is illegal. The students will be eligible, and he'll get in trouble as a booster. They got all of the rules, restrictions, and smoke for sports that are predominantly Black. Yeah, you were saying that earlier. Hey, Star. I know you did, El Teddy. I said that you already talked about this. Mm-hmm. For a long time, the team boosters were supporting the players, and they had a big scandal about that. Yeah. And let's be clear, they still are. Listen. Let's not be fooled into thinking that none of these athletes are getting anything. Let's be clear. But the reality is it's not an even distribution, and it's certainly not a fair distribution. And it's still illegal. So if people get caught, they're going to get in trouble. It's still illegal. The perfect example is the Fab Five. They're finally getting over that mess. Yeah. Yep. NCAA just sounds like a training ground for football players to be exploited by the NFL. Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yep. So. I mean, what's the school down in Texas that got the death penalty? Southern? Is it Southern Methodist, SMU? Was it SMU that got the death penalty in NCAA because they had too many violations? And a lot of it came down to the boosters and them getting money and who they was giving the money to and all of that good stuff. That's why the ones who can go pro don't hesitate to leave. Yeah, SMU, yeah. They should give monthly stipends so they can use it in their favor. They can be a part of the perks. Okay, so what is the death penalty? The death penalty in the NCAA, what the death penalty is if you get violations, it's the progressive discipline of the NCAA. And when you get to what they call the death penalty, that means that for a certain amount of years, your athletic program is ineligible to participate in any type of championship, bowl games, anything like that, which is where the money is. You know, where the money resides, that's the money. That's where the money comes in. The potential to get on TV, the potential for all of that. And I want to say, depending on the level of the violation, you might not even be able to have an athletic program. And so your recruits dry up. And again, this is big money, especially at these bigger Division I schools. Imagine a UNC with no athletic program. UNC is still a great school. They still have great alumni that still give money back. But imagine a school like UNC with no athletic program at all. Nothing. We're talking about federal money. We're talking about athletic money. We're talking about TV money, endorsements, sponsorships. Go down to any major school these days. The stadium, the football stadium, the basketball arena, they all have corporate names attached to them. Over at the University of Maryland, when I was growing up, where the Maryland Terps played basketball, it was called Cole Fieldhouse. It was named after some rich alumni. Now it's the Comcast Center. It's you know what I'm saying? And so all of that dries up. If there are no sponsors, all of that dries up. All of that's gone. I done scared Xavier. No, I didn't. Oh, no, I don't literally mean, I'm sorry, y'all. My bad. I don't literally mean the death penalty. What? How many? It's 10 days. It's 10 days. My birthday is July 2nd. Today's June 22nd. It's 10 days. Yes. One time for the birthday, girl. Yeah, I had already, you weren't here at the beginning, El Teddy. I'd already had my overlay up. You know, this how I opened up the show, baby, with my overlay to remind everybody that it's birthday time. We are within a month. We are less than 2 weeks away from our birthday. Less than 2 weeks away. Absolutely. Yes. Well, they're off. They have their program, but I forgot how long. I forgot how long the death penalty lasts, but there's a time limit attached to it. I should know all of this. Both of my parents were student athletes, but I'm more of a student chef. No, I mean, if you don't listen, a lot of this stuff you don't know. Right. When people were asking why didn't HBCUs have a football season last year, and it's because we don't have the donors to pay. Mm-hmm. Beyonce did not get where she was if she were a mediocre singer. Beyonce sings down. Okay. Logan came out of left field, y'all. See, they're going to beehive. As a Carolina alum, that school will fall in shambles, especially if they take away the basketball, football, and women's soccer programs. Okay. Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, UNC is a great school, but I implore you to go and Google their budget and see how much money came in from athletics. And that's a lot of these Division I programs. Ohio State, Alabama, Nebraska, like the list goes on and on and on. When you take away their athletic program, it would put a major dent in the amount of money that the school has. Major. All right, y'all, let's get ready. Let's talk about some updates to what they got going on down to the Real Housewives situation. So the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now, this information is coming from Tamara Tattles via the Kempire. Because I watched him, but he got a lot of his information from Tamara Tattles. Is Tamara Tattles? Duke. Same thing with Duke. Duke too, child. Duke too. Did you hear about all that messiness is doing a documentary on her former panel? The messiness. Who? Oh, did I hear about the messiness is doing a child? I'm done with that whole conversation. I'm so sick of. Listen, I'm sick of all of it. I wish them well. Peace and blessings, child. A documentary? She better be careful. She better be careful. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyway, so, and yes, I just have a random brush in my hand that was sitting right here that I'm talking with right now. She's releasing personal phone. She better moving on. So, the Real Housewives of Atlanta have not started filming yet, allegedly because Portia is holding up filming because she is still negotiating her contract. Now, I know we talked about this before, that Portia says she is not going to speak about her relationship on that she is not going to speak on her relationship on the panel. I said panel, Lord, O Street got me talking about a panel. That she's not going to speak on her relationship on the new season. You thought I went Harry Potter with, I may have went Wingardium Leviosa. See, I'll be like Ron. I'll be done fucked something up because I know that ain't the right spell. So she's holding up production. So they normally start filming in June, but they have not started filming yet because they are not finalized the contract. Like I said, Portia said that she was not going to speak on her relationship on this new season. And the production company has already spoken with her about her current situation and I guess what they want to see or what they don't want to see on the season. So we'll see what that ends up looking like when we get to filming for real. Okay. We know that Portia just celebrated her 40th birthday this weekend, and I find it interesting that the cameras weren't rolling to get that whole celebration, but child, whatever. It's okay, O Street. It is okay, boo. Cynthia, rumor has it that Cynthia will not be coming back. She did take Real Housewives of Atlanta out of her bio on Instagram, and she is going to be on Wendy later on this week. And rumor has it that she will be announcing on Wendy Williams that she will not be returning to the show. We know that LaToya and Fallon are not coming back. Drew did get a contract for her to come back this season. Nene is not coming back, Jonathan. Let it go. Let it go. It's okay. Let it go. But some names did come up. Allegedly, Sheree might be coming back as a friend to the show. Marlo has her contract. Candy has her contract. They said that Portia is in line to negotiate her contract this year to be one of the highest, if not the highest, housewife on that franchise. We know that right now, Candy is the highest on that franchise. But with this new storyline, child, she might be able to negotiate and get that top spot. The Housewives is not a show that is meant for you to be on for decades. I know Nene is confused about this, but you were supposed to get on the show and create a brand builder and then leave. But she did. She did. Lord, not thirsty, messy Sheree. Listen, I'm just saying that's the rumor. That's what's being out there. Now, nothing has been signed. Nothing has been signed. I'm just telling you that's what the word on the curb is. That's the rumor. Now, here's some good news, little baby. You'll be happy to hear this because I think you've been saying this for months. The other thing is they are bringing in some producers from the Real Housewives of Potomac to come down to Atlanta and help production for this season. And I know that is something that some of y'all have been saying that they needed to do for a while. Her brand was being nasty and calling the network racist and now begging for a position to get back on the racist network. It's so confusing. If Kenya cannot speak on her marriage, Portia can be quiet. Kenya has been speaking on her marriage. What are you talking about? Kenya's always speaking on her marriage. We just don't believe half of what she's saying. But she's been speaking on her marriage from the beginning. Well, they can get rid of Candy. I mean, they kind of can. I like Candy, but I know you don't like Candy, Jonathan. If Sheree comes back, then I'm done. How many times can they recycle her, child? Well, I did not realize how many people have turned down the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm telling y'all, listen, the people they want don't want to come on the show, and the people they don't want is who wants to come on the show. Because I did not realize how many people have turned down the Real Housewives of Atlanta. When I started hearing the names, I was like, damn, they turned it down? Them too? Her too. A lot of people have turned down the show, y'all. No, from my understanding, there's no new blood. We did hear a rumor about light-skinned Keisha. That's the only rumor I've heard about any new blood coming in. Is light-skinned Keisha, child. No, I think Kenya. I disagree with that. I think Kenya has shown us her marriage. Now, again, I don't think we're seeing the truth. I think we're seeing what she chooses to show us. But that's the truth with everybody. I mean, everybody shows us what they want us to what they want filmed. But I think Kenya has let us in. Kenya has been a lot more transparent with this marriage than she's been with them other men that she paid to be on the show with her. Yeah, a lot of Atlanta people turn the show down. They do not want to be on the show. So I think it's harder than it seems to get new blood, especially on the Atlanta franchise. It's been really hard. Like I said, I did not realize how many people have turned down the show. And the funny thing is, a lot of people have turned down Real Housewives of Atlanta, but then go on other reality shows. For example, Toya, Monica, Tiny. All of them have turned down the Real Housewives of Atlanta, but they want other reality shows. I'm wondering if LaToya Luckett, did somebody tell me that LaToya turned them down? I think somebody told me that LaToya turned them down. Kiki Wyatt, Selena Johnson, who are some of the other names that people were telling me that turned down Real Housewives of Atlanta? Fergie Dot even said the era of the affluent Black woman in reality TV has died and producers need to retool it. I disagree. I don't think it has died. I think Atlanta has died. I think Atlanta has. But if you look at these other franchises that have decided to add Black women, they don't have no problem finding Black women. Look at Potomac. Potomac never has a problem finding a Black woman to come onto the show. I think Atlanta has. Fantasia. Now, I was really shocked to find out Fantasia turned it down, but you know. Fantasia turned it down. Lisa Ray turned it down. Yeah, a lot of people turned down the Real Housewives of, LaToya is going to be on the new Lee Daniels show over to Fox. Well, I believe Monique turned it down, child. Monique ain't going on nobody's damn Real Housewives of Atlanta, child. Right, that's what I'm saying. Exactly. T-Boz and Chili. Both of them turned down Real Housewives. That's what I'm saying. When I started hearing the names of people that have turned down the Real Housewives of Atlanta, I'm like, oh, well. No wonder they can't get nobody over there. I'm not surprised about Fanny. She's living for the Lord. Well, it's just casting. I don't think anything is dying. The Housewives was not supposed to be famous women, but wealthy women. Bravo only thinks for famous Black women, but average rich white women. Again, I think that's just Atlanta. Because again, if you think about the other franchises, the women they bring on they're not famous. None of the Potomac women are famous. The closest that they had to famous, everybody knew who Juan Dixon was in the DC area. Everybody know who Chris Samuels is in the DC area. But their wives, not so much. So that's the closest that we came to in Potomac, was the fact that they were married to famous people, which I guess is what the housewife, the whole thing was. But I don't know. I think in Atlanta, but I also think that comes with the culture of Atlanta. Because she wasn't giving stories for years or half-ass fashion show. Y'all talking about Sheree, child. You can't trust Bravo producers. Child, you can't trust E unless you're a Kardashian. Everyone in the DMV knew Jamal Bryant and Giselle. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Jamal Bryant, first of all, Jamal Bryant's out of Baltimore. A lot of people knew of Jamal Bryant as a mega church guy, but they really didn't. They really didn't. No. And we damn sure ain't know nothing about no Giselle. Again, if you were in Baltimore, if you went to his church, yeah, you knew all about them. And as somebody down here in D.C., I remember hearing about Jamal Bryant getting caught cheating on his wife. But I promise you, when I turned the page of that newspaper, I turned the page on that story. Ain't nobody think nothing about Giselle after they got divorced. Now, Jamal Bryant still did things in the community. And again, people think that D.C. and Baltimore are like right next to each other. They really are not. There's an hour between D.C. and Baltimore. And it's really a whole different world. Like, it's like when you're driving from D.C. to Baltimore, it's almost like you go through an invisible dimension and you are in a different, like, it really is. Like, growing up in this area, it's night and day. Like, Baltimore, D.C., we just not the same. We just not the same. And Baltimore's not considered, when you talk about the DMV, Baltimore's not considered the DMV. So, like, if you moved in the mega church circles, of course you knew who Jamal Bryant was. Down in the Baltimore area, you knew who Jamal Bryant was because he was very active in the community and stuff like that. But outside of that, ain't nobody know who Jamal Bryant ass was. And again, we damn sure ain't know who Giselle was. Because once they got divorced, ain't nobody think about Giselle. Nah. Yeah, the accent, child, it's a whole different world. I'm saying that they demand more to be a housewife, as if Black housewives must be entertainers or be wealthy. Right, creative. See, there you go, creative diva. DMV over here, never heard of none of them. Right. I knew who Monique was. I knew who Monique was because I know people who know Monique, and I know people who went to her wedding. I know people who went to the wedding when she married Chris Samuels. I know who Chris Samuels is because I'm a diehard Washington fan, and I remember when he was drafted. Like, I've been a Chris Samuels fan. I know who Juan Dixon is because, again, if you grew up in this area and you are connected to sports, you know Juan Dixon. You knew his story because Juan Dixon was a star of the Maryland Terrapins when they were a championship team, and you heard his story over and over and over again. And then he ended up playing for the Wizards, and you knew who Juan Dixon was. But I promise you, I never knew who the hell Robin Dixon was. Ever. Ever. Until she was on the Real Housewives of Potomac. I always thought since she moved down to Rockville, you guys embraced her down there. Again, Rockville is 45 minutes outside of D.C. without traffic. I used to work in Rockville. Let me just give you an example. I used to work in Rockville. It took me an hour to get to work in the morning and an hour and a half to get home from in the evening. Rockville is not right here. Like, it's not right here. They're completely different. My husband used to mistake my family for being from Baltimore until he actually visited and saw it. Yeah, it's just so it's night and day, y'all. It's night and day. Yeah, Monique is from New Jersey. I knew Jamal because he came to my church, but I didn't know. Lord, I'm not doing this with you. Yeah. And so again, it's the same thing, like Beverly Hills doesn't count because they've had a lot of celebrities on Beverly Hills. We had Denise Richards, we got the Lisa Rinna. So having Garcelle really isn't, even Erica Jane, who I know her name is Mud right now, but Erica Jane was, a pop star, Hey, what's up, King Retro? That's a long drive. A lot of gold teeth in Baltimore. Right. Diamond Pearl, you from the area. You know what I'm saying. You know, it's like growing up, I promise y'all, I grew up, born and raised in D.C., traveled all over the United States. I promise y'all, I could count on one hand how many times I went to Baltimore as a child. One hand. When they built up the harbor, I think we went down to the harbor once or twice because they when Baltimore redid their harbor and they had all the like restaurants and all that stuff down there. Like we used to go that, but again, even that was like a couple of times. Like going to Baltimore was like, we just wasn't something we did, child. Her husband was famous in Cali. Whose husband was famous in Cali? Monique is from New Jersey. Monique the comedian, Jada Pinkett are from Baltimore. Yeah, Monique the comedian and Jada Pinkett are from Baltimore. Yeah. I'm familiar with Juan Dixon because Maryland used to be a part of the ACC. Right. I'm familiar with Jamal because I used to watch his services on the Word Network. Right. I knew one thing. Andy would never put no light-skinned Keisha or LaToya on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Oh, hell no. Hell to the no. Ain't nothing at the harbor. Not now, but when they first redid the harbor when I was younger, when they first redid the harbor and they put those restaurants down there and they had the it wasn't called Dave and Buster's back then. What was it called before it became a Dave and Buster's? It was something else, but it was something along the lines of like a Dave and Buster's, and they had all those shops and all that stuff down there. Yeah, they got the Phillips, right? The Phillips was down there and all of that. Yeah, but I'm telling y'all, like I'm serious. I could count on one hand how many times I went to Baltimore as a child. It just wasn't. We just didn't do it. We didn't go down there. We didn't go to Baltimore. Yeah, he was on TBN, so maybe I thought he was in the churches with TD Jakes and Eddie Long, Big Pat. No, he wants to be. That's what he wants. Yes, they have McCormick's, the most seafood, and some of those Ruth's Chris more expensive. My family's from the DMV. I lived there briefly, and most of my family is still there. I've been in Baltimore maybe 5 times, right? Anyway, yeah. So that's what it is, y'all. That is what it is. Now, listen. I thank y'all for being here. Don't forget. Little baby, you still in the chat? You still here? When little baby get quiet, I don't be worried. I be wondering where she went. Sometimes little baby get quiet on me. I'm sorry. What the heck? Okay. Don't forget. I'm sorry, little baby. I ain't see. I just went on to get it. Y'all make sure y'all get on over there to Mo's Seafood. Mo's Seafood. I mean, Baltimore went through the same thing that most major cities went through in the 80s and 90s. I mean, it was definitely hit by the crack epidemic hard. I don't think it's anything more in Baltimore than you're going to find in any other major city if you go into the wrong neighborhood. It's definitely, I will say this, Baltimore has not been as quick to gentrify as some other major cities. But there are parts of Baltimore that has gentrified, but it's not, you definitely can still get some cheap property in Baltimore in the wrong neighborhoods and maybe hold on to it. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it hasn't hurt. It hasn't been hit any, in my opinion, it hasn't been hit any harder than any other major city. It just hasn't been as fast to recover as some cities because, like DC recovered as fast as it did because they gentrified. The white people came in. I mean, I lived high school and my siblings grew up there and still there and some are beautiful places. Yeah, there are some really, I mean, that was even in the height, you can find some nice areas of a city, but it just hasn't been as quick to gentrify as other cities. But there are definitely some nice parts of Baltimore, absolutely. My sister has bought up a lot of row homes near Johns Hopkins. Your sister gonna be rich. Absolutely. There's definitely cheap property in Baltimore. Absolutely, there is. I should make a YouTube name for us. Really be. Is that what you're saying? I'm confused. Really be. Just call me Really be. I love DC too. I love my city. The good, the bad, and the ugly. I'll be honest with y'all. I wish I had bought a property in DC. Shit. I'd be ready to retire right about now if I had done it. So your sister, tell your sister, keep buying up the property. Tell her keep buying, keep buying, keep buying. Right on Charles Street near Penn Station off North Avenue. That's Greek to me. I don't know nothing about Baltimore. I know how to get to 2 places in Baltimore. And the Harbor is one of them. Oh, you mean like a fan name? The Tribe. I call y'all the Tribe. Y'all my tribe. Yeah, John. Yeah, definitely. If it's near Johns Hopkins, hold on to it. I have some friends who bought up a couple of duplexes near Drexel University in Philadelphia, and that's all they do is rent it to college students, year in, year out, guaranteed income. Somebody always looking for off-campus housing, and it's right there. It's in walking distance of Drexel. They always looking for it. Now my friends own homes in Bowie, and I think it's called Fredericksburg. Yeah, Fredericksburg, Bowie. All my friends lived in Montgomery County and Bowie, also in Charles County. I used to visit them every weekend. Oh, wow. That's all over the place. Bowie, Charles County, Montgomery County. That's all over the place. But it's all, I mean, it's not, when I say all over the place, it's just in opposite directions, but it's all right here. You know, it's all right in this area. Charles County is to my left. Montgomery County is to my right. Rockville is Montgomery County. If you're going to Montgomery County, you're going to Rockville. I mean, if you're going to Rockville, you'll be in Montgomery County. Your niece owns a home by Morgan State. Tell her don't sell it. Don't sell it. That's good property. It's called University City. I said I was going to get myself together and buy up. I'm going to tell you, I was getting ready to start buying up property and becoming a landlord. My aunt owns a lot of property. She's a landlord and she owns a lot of property. And she was going to help me, like buy my first investment property and, show me all the ropes and all that good stuff. Baby, let me tell you something. Being a landlord ain't no joke. It is not for the faint of heart. It is not for the faint of heart. And I kind of just changed my mind and decided to do some other things, invest my money in other areas, because being a landlord ain't no joke. Like, I just didn't know if I had I just didn't know if I wanted to do it. I know it can be very, very lucrative. It absolutely can. And honestly, if I had the interest of going into other cities, because that's the thing, DC was dried up. Because I told you, gentrification hit DC, and DC was dried up. It wasn't nothing in DC affordable where you were going to make a serious profit. But if I was interested in buying in Philly or Baltimore, in other areas, but then you got to travel. And even though Baltimore isn't that far, or you have to employ, a property manager, and it's just a lot. And I had friends who had gone into buying a property and they started getting burnt. I had a lot of friends that got burnt. They bought up the property. They either couldn't rent it or they got renters that were deadbeats, and then they had to go through the trouble of getting them put out. Or they went the Section 8 route and then they couldn't get nobody out. Once you go Section 8 Section 8 is good if you have a good tenant because you guaranteed your money. But if you have a bad tenant, it is so hard to get somebody kicked out of Section 8. So hard to get somebody kicked out of Section 8. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I would have to get a property manager. It's a lot. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are times where I kind of wish I had done it, but then there are other times when I'm like all I got to do is hear one story and I'll be like, oh yeah, that's why I didn't do it. DC looks good now. We used to go a lot of reggae spots on Georgia Avenue in Silver Spring. I remember one on New York Avenue. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. Like my aunt had the one that I was telling you about that has real estate. She had a really, really nice house in the suburbs of DC, right? Near it's in the area is called Fort Washington. Really, really nice area. It's near where the new harbor is now, right? Not too far from the harbor. Really nice home. Not ridiculously extravagant, but nice. And she had renters in there that was Section 8. When they moved out, she had been trying to get them out forever. And when she finally got them out, that house was so infested with roaches. They had to, the exterminator had to come through 2 or 3 times because they had to go all in the vents. It was so nasty. It was so nasty. And they, like I said, she had to get the exterminator to come out 2 or 3 times. And that's not even taking into account none of the rest of the house. That's just, imagine, it was that infested with roaches. So you can imagine what the rest of the house looked like. She had to put so much money into getting that house ready. And she didn't even rent it out again. She cleaned it up. And she sold it. Because by that time, the market was really good. And she was getting a good offer on the house. So she just sold it. She was like, it was just bad. It was bad. They kick people out with the quickness down here. The Milwaukee courts favor the landlords. Not here in this area. Matter of fact, I know a few years ago, the city council was trying to pass some laws that would make it a little bit easier for landlords to try to put people out because the laws were just really, they were not landlord friendly at all. Had to give her a 30-day notice. She was too happy and looking for a reason. I know that's right. I know bad tenants too well. I had a tenant leave the place infested. Ugh! Rats. Rats. My mother-in-law had to take a Section 8 tenant to court when they messed up the house. It was so bad she lost in court because the judge didn't believe it was the same house. Now you know what. Oh, that's nasty. See, and it's stories like that. Like I said, don't get me wrong. There are times when I wish I had done it, but it's stories like that I'd be like, "Ooh, I'm glad I invested I did something different. I did some other things with my money." Again, I'm not independently wealthy, but I just don't know if I got the wherewithal for that. Ain't nobody got time to be running back and forth to court for these people. And don't get me wrong, some people get some really good tenants. They pay on time. They have good relationships and all that good stuff. But you just hear so many. And especially, can you imagine if I owned 4 or 5 pieces of property this last year and a half? Do you know how much financial debt I would be in right now? Because I have friends who were landlords and they weren't getting no rent this last year and a half. They weren't getting no rent. And you just had to eat it. You just had to eat it. Oh, near medical centers. Okay. They do that too, Danny. They do that too. Go ahead. Huh? Right. Okay. If the insides were sounding this bad, how did the outsides look? Ooh. That's what I'm saying. Like I said, my aunt's house, was bad. It was bad. Ooh. Sure. Let me get off of here, y'all. Y'all got me on here. Look, y'all done got me on here for almost 2 hours. Let me get off here. David Makes Man come on in a few minutes, honey. I better be ready for David Makes Man. Zara, I saw your comment. Email me if that's, I ain't saying I can help you out as much as I can, but email me, girl. That's what I was going to ask about. What about during the pandemic? Listen, I was at my hairdresser a few weeks ago and there was a lady there who was a landlord and she was saying how bad it's been. She owns a whole apartment building. not like a huge one, but I think she's got like 6 units. And her sister lives in one of the units. But then the other 5 units she rents out, and she's just like she had to eat it. She just had to eat it. I put a ring on it. It's not in the lineup, Miss Little Baby. I'm sorry. I didn't know we were supposed to be talking about put a ring on it. We had to talk about put a ring on it tomorrow, child. You know something about that predicament, 5 rentals and 3 have not paid. See? Oh my gosh, Diamond. Ooh, I feel for you, babes. I'm going to watch it so we can think the same things. We can talk about put a ring on it later. What's tomorrow? Wednesday? Maybe we could do it Wednesday. Maybe we could do it tomorrow, child. I don't know. We got the Real House, yeah. Because we know we got to talk about David Makes Man tomorrow, honey. Y'all homework tonight is to watch David Makes Man, because we will definitely be talking about it tomorrow. I think we're going to do a teacher project tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that as well. But let me get ready to get out of here. Y'all get on over there to Avon and get y'all some stuff, honey. Y'all get y'all some stuff over to the Avon. We got the Skin So Soft. We got candles. We got essential oils, honey. We got jewelry. We got sandals, okay? We got a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And the stuff comes really quickly. And I'm not even saying this to toot my own horn, but every time I order from Avon, even for my own stuff, it be coming quick. So y'all get on over there and y'all get y'all a little piece of this and a little piece of that, okay? Thank you for all those who have ordered. I had a couple of orders come in last week. I think I said that already, but thank you guys so much for those who have ordered from the A of the Von. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And y'all, we on this countdown to my birthday, and we're gonna party like it's, like it's 1999. Okay. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Is there a list of the shows you cover? You know what, Zara? I don't have a list, but you know what I'm getting ready to do? That's a really good thing. I think I'm going to type up a list right now, and I'm going to post it on my Instagram and post it on my community board. I'm absolutely going to do that. You got your Avon order in 3 days? Yeah, it's really quick. It really is quick. It really is quick. But you know what, Zara? That's a good idea. I'm going to do that. I'm going to type up my schedule so y'all know what I'm reviewing. I am going to do that because it's a lot of shows starting in July. So I'm going to do that. Yep. All right, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.